Hi guys and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be comparing the Tarte Toasted palette and the Colourpop Double Entendre palette. Now these palettes are both very similar in size, as you can see, same thickness, same shape, but they are not the same price. The Colourpop palette comes in at $16 US, which retails for about 12 to 13 British pounds, and the Tartelette Toasted palette retails for $46 US and comes in at about 33 British pounds. So a very big price difference. I've got both of them on my eyes right now, so can you tell which is which? That is the challenge. Pause the video right now, comment it down below, which eye is which? Is it the left eye that's Colourpop or the right eye? Is it the left eye that's Tarte or the right eye? Put it down below. I really am intrigued what you think on first impressions of which is which palette. So yes, I want to open these up. Without further ado, let's play the rolling tape. So here are both the palettes. I love the packaging for both of them. Obviously I do prefer the Tartelette packaging just because it's so much more luxury and so much more expensive looking, but the Colourpop packaging is still really cute too. It's got like this confetti sort of pattern on it and it's very sort of reflective, as you can see. They are exactly the same size, so you know, same shape, same depth and everything, so very comparable in sort of travelling sense where they're like the same size. So inside the Colourpop one, it just looks like this. There's no mirror inside, it just has Colourpop written there, and you've got all the shades here, and it's just a magnetic sort of close. Can you hear that? It's a good close, and I do appreciate that being magnetic as well, because it doesn't make me scared that it's going to fly open whilst I'm travelling. It's going to like stay shut, which is really good. Then going into the Tartelette palette, this one has a huge mirror inside, like it's the full size mirror. I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to blind you too much, but just looks like that. So it's got a huge mirror there and all the shades are like that, so they are square. This one has an amazing scent and I don't know what it is. I think it's like cocoa. I think this one would be better for travelling because it's got the mirror and it is a really clear mirror. As I'm looking into it, it's actually better than the mirror I've got here that I do my makeup in, so it's really clear. So from that perspective it'd be great for travelling, and it smells freaking amazing. But for the third of the price, I think I could justify buying the Colourpop one over the Tartelette one, if they're both the same, to sacrifice the mirror. I bring a mirror anyway if I go travelling, so it doesn't really make a difference to me. One other thing you get with this palette is a little brush that kind of matches it, kind of matches the packaging. It kind of looks like a turtle shell sort of barreled brush, and it has a Tarte just written there. Really nice fluffy brush, quite dense at the root, but really sort of fluffy, and I really like that. It's really good in the crease, so I'm going to use this today as well just to try it out. But again, for the third of the price, I don't need another brush, you know? If this does the same thing, saves some money. Okay, so what I'm going to do is literally just lay these out in front of me and just pick the best colours that match each other and work like that, so I can keep the same eye look on both eyes. I don't want to look crazy. I've selected a few brushes that I want to work with today, including the one that came with the Tarte palette itself, but these are all clean, so they've got no residue of product on them. This one looks like it's got product on, but it's literally stained from a pigment, but it is clean. And between palettes I'll be washing the brushes, so I'll be using this B Cosmetics Makeup Brush Cleanser. It's practically alcohol, so all I do is just squirt it on the thing and then just rub it into this cloth and it'll be clean. So I don't want to get either side mixed up, so I'll be doing that in between, dipping between the palettes. So I'm going to just put Locked and Loaded from the Colourpop palette all over the lid just to kind of set a base. I'm going to put the Colourpop side on this side, by the way, on the left side of my face, and the Tartelette on my right. So just literally going in with that shade Locked and Loaded all over my lid just to really just kind of set the eye down and create a base, just so all the colours can blend in nice and seamlessly. And then just cleaning that brush down. There's literally barely anything on that brush, but I want to remain fair and make sure it's all clean, so it's all clean like that. I'm going to go into the shade S'more, which is this one right here. I'm then going to go into the shade called Draft. It's just a very peachy orangey shade, and I'm going to just run this all throughout my crease. And then from the Tarte Toasted palette, I'm just going to take this shade Cashmere just there, really similar, so I'm going to run that through the crease as well. Okay, so far we're looking very similar. I'd say the colour is pretty much identical, and they have both blended out superbly, so looking good so far. I'm then going to take the Tarte brush that we got with the palette, this nice little fluffy rounded blending brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Extracurricular, this one here. It's much more of a warm chocolatey brown with a hint of orange in it, and I'm just going to apply this in the crease, but try not to drag it up too much, trying to bring it more down the lid this time. So I'm going to come from an upward angle and then kind of blend it this way. I'm trying to take a MAC 224 with nothing on it and just blend that around, just to make sure there's no harsh lines on that one. I'd say this colour's blended pretty well. There's a tiny bit of patchiness going on, but it does blend alright, and I think once you've got all the colours on, you won't be able to notice too much. I'm then going to take the colour Cozy with the same brush. It is clean. I'm just going to do exactly the same on the other eye. I'm not sure if it's the brush or both those shadows, but this one's not blending very well, so I'm just going to go back into that brush I was using earlier, which is the Real Techniques Powder Blue brush. Nothing's on this again. And just have a go at both those sides again, trying to blend that into the crease a bit more. It could just be my imagination, but I feel like this one is not blending as well as the Colourpop shadow. I just feel like it's leaving like a little bit of a line. Do you see what I mean? Like, this one's got a little bit of a line and this one hasn't. I don't know. It might be the brush, to be fair. I might just switch up this brush and see if I can blend it in with this brush here, which is the Real Techniques 203 Bold Metals brush. See if that blends it in. No, it's not like blending it in. I think it's the shadow. Like, it's leaving a bit of a line, it's just not blending very well, you know? I'm not sure about that one. I'm going into the shade here, Keep It PG, and I think I'm going to kind of do a halo effect on my eye. So I'm going to put this on the outer and inner corners. And I'm just going to go in with a cleaner brush just here, just to make sure it doesn't creep up the eyes, just kind of push it back down and blend it a little bit. Just to get rid of any harsh lines and keep the crease nice and clear. And then with the same brush I'm going to go into the shade Cozy, which is the same colour, and do exactly the same on this eye. And with the same brush that I've been using to kind of blend out both the eyes, just for the dark parts in the inner corner and outer corner, I'm going to go into this shade here called Hard. It's a much more orangey shade, very muted orange, I'd say, like a muted orangey brown. Just pop this in the crease. I don't want to drag it up, I don't want to drag it down, I just want to intensify the warmth of that crease. I'm then going to go into its equivalent, which is the shade Warmth, and do the exact same thing. And then with this MAC brush that I've got nothing on, I'm trying to blend both sides out, just to really diffuse it. I'm then going to take the colour Uninhibited on my finger. Just looks like this, really, really shiny and beautiful. And I'm trying to press this on the centre of my lid where I haven't got the darker colours. I'm just going to use this brush just to blend these two colours together, just so there's no harsh lines on that at all. And then what I might do with that same brush that I was just using for blending is just put some on and then just pat it on whilst sort of like wobbling it about almost around my lid. And then we can come back to intensify these outer corners and inner corners in a minute. And then with the same brush I'm just going to go back into that deeper shade anyway, with a little bit of the sparkle still on it, and then just kind of flick it in. And then doing the same on the other eye, I'm going to go into the shade Sunset, which is this one right here. Not as shiny as the Colourpop one actually. It's a bit more of a glow than a sheen. So we'll see how this looks. And I'll just stamp it right in the middle again. And then just like I did with the other palette, I'm just going to go back into the shade, stamp it on my eye, just for a bit more intensity. And then I'm going to go back into this shade, just like we did with the other palette, and do exactly the same that we did on the other eye. And then just taking the brush that has nothing on it again, just cleaning up the crease once again. I don't want anything to kind of kick up or go anywhere else, just keep that down. I've got to say, the dark brown colour in here is much more intense than the Colourpop one. However, this one does not blend as much as this one. Like, this one is much more blendable, whereas this one I feel like it's really hard to not get those harsh lines, as you can see there, whereas this one's so seamless. So what I'm going to do is just to even it up a little bit, go back into the Colourpop one, just to even it up, just kind of press on those inner and outer corners, just because at the moment they're two different colours, because one's deeper than the other. Okay, so going into this shade Teddy Bear, which is B-A-R-E, not bear as in cuddly bear. It's kind of just like this champagne-y, yellowy colour. I'm going to go in with this very flat MAC 242 brush, and then I'm just going to wet it with some MAC Fix Plus, and just stamp this in the innermost section. And while I'm there with this colour, I'm just going to kind of pop it in my inner corners as well, and just drag it by the tear duct just to really open the eyes in the corners. And on the brow bone as well. Ooh, look at that. I'm going to go into the shade Candle, which is very, very similar. Almost identical actually. This is far more glittery though. Picking up, I've noticed, it's got far more bigger chunks of glitter. So I'm going to just spray that with MAC Fix Plus again. And then I'm just going to do exactly the same as I did with the Colourpop one in the inner corners and just under the tear duct. And then for the last shade, I'm going to go into this shade Uninhibited, which is the brown with very fine, like, goldy green glitter. And I'm literally just going to press this and smoke it out on my lower lash line. And then with nothing on this brush, I'm just going to blend it out more, just so it's really smoky looking. I think with this glittery shade, once you put it on your lid or on your skin, the glitter kind of disappears a little bit. So when you swatch it, you can see it, but not so much when you actually go to put it on your lids. So I'm not really too sure what that whole glitter thing's for, but it looks pretty in the palette at least. And then going into the shade Crackle, I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other eye. Okay, so I look done. I'm going to go away and apply the L'Oreal False Lash Telescopic Mascara and the Unicorn Lashes in the shape or in the style Forget Me Not. These are really, really pretty. Like, they've got some sort of clumps and clusters into them. So I've never applied these, so it'll be really interesting to see what they look like on my eyes. But that is the game. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I feel like lashes can hide 1,000 mistakes. They're a little bit more dramatic than what I wanted, but I don't mind. Like, more is more, right? I really do like the fluffiness of them and how you can see the eyeshadow in between the clusters, but they're a little bit like thicker than what I thought they were going to be. Like, if I just turn my head so you can see, those are thick lashes. Like, they're thick at the root and thick at the tip. I could take off with them if I blinked hard enough, maybe. Upon first impressions, they're both beautiful, like, eyeshadow palettes, and they both blend really well. One is more pigmented than the other, and I think the Tarte is more pigmented. I think it's because it's got that clay formula, like the Amazonian clay formula. I actually, on first impressions, do prefer the Colourpop one, just because I feel like it smokes more nicely and they all blended into each other a bit more nicely, whereas I feel like the Tarte one, like, kind of, I don't know, I feel like it skipped a little bit and it wasn't as seamless of a blend as the Colourpop one. But we're going to do a bit of a wear test with them. I'm meeting my friends in 35 minutes actually, so I need to get a move on. And we're going to go for some cocktails and dinner, so we're going to see which ones hold up. I'll probably be laughing and all of that sort of stuff. So we'll see how each of the shadows hold up and see if they sort of work the same, or if one fades and one wears off, or if it falls down. You never know. So we're going to do a bit of a wear test and then I will see you in a minute. Okay, so I am back and I'm well and truly knackered. It is now 12:30, so I've had this eyeshadow on, this whole makeup look on for around 7 hours now, I believe, because it was about 5:30 when I finished everything, so about 7 hours, so I'm pretty tired and I'm out of breath. All I've done is get on my bed. So the girls I was going out with didn't even notice that my eyes were two different palettes, or they were two different kind of types of shadows, so that is a win already, which means they are already a dupe. I'm classing this as a 100% dupe. They have lasted both, I feel, pretty well, to be honest. Like, this one's wearing off a little bit because I was crying with laughter and I wiped it away, so ignore it. But to be honest, I feel like the quality of the eyeshadow is actually better from the Colourpop palette, so I'd say this is a 100% dupe, and it's actually a little bit better than the Tarte palette. This is a much better packaging, it's more bougie looking, it's like satisfying to hold, to feel, to look at, to smell, but actually I think these are better shadows, and I think for what? A third of the price, 100% much better than this. And it's funny, I asked the girls what eye they preferred and they didn't know which one was which. They all decided individually that they all liked the Colourpop eye better than the Tarte eye, and when I told them, they were like, what now? That's incredible. So yeah, I'm really excited that I've found a dupe, and I feel like that's a really good dupe for a third of the price. I cannot believe it. So the Colourpop Double Entendre palette is 100% a dupe for the Tarte Toasted palette, and even better, I would say. I would go that far to say it is better. I'm going to go off to bed now because it's really bloody late and I am knackadoodled. If you want any more dupe videos like this in the future, just say and pop them down below and I can do those. I can always buy makeup items if I don't have it and do a dupe video for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you aren't subscribed already, hit that little subscribe button down below and join my little family. Give this video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! So here are both... I can't speak today. What is wrong with me? I've got to say this one is, I've got to say the colour. Okay, so I think I'm done. I'm trying to go apply some. We're going to be doing a oh. There is no better feeling.